Hey, this is Manley with verticallessons.com. In this video, it's going to be all about relationships that are important to you. And I'm going to give you 3 little steps that I think you'll find insightful and helpful for relationships that do matter most to you. Here's the 2 scenarios, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with both these. One is you get a heads up and a warning that some relationship with someone you care about is coming to an end, or it's going to be significantly reduced in the amount of time you get to spend with this person. So maybe professional life, you get notice that someone's going to be leaving your organization as an example. And you're like, oh man, I'm going to miss them. Or maybe you're like, no, thank gosh, they're going. Right? Let's talk about But scenario A, you're actually going to really miss them. You're like, oh no, you're bummed. So maybe you have an opportunity to go to lunch with them again, or you stop by and go to their going away party, and you get to tell them, hey, I really appreciate you, and I've really enjoyed you. And you tell yourself, well, we're going to stay in touch, and we'll have lunch. But you know from experience, you're probably not going to see them much anymore. But you got a heads up. Or maybe it's even, maybe it's in a death, right? You had a loved one, cancer or something like that, where you had a warning. And I've been through that with my mother-in-law, both of who passed at 58. A dear friend of mine at 49 years old who passed from cancer as well. Sucks, right? One silver lining is that you do get those opportunities to have those important conversations, hopefully. The flip side of that is when there's a complete reduction in your amount of exposure and engagement with someone. Suddenly, right, they're fired, or they move on in your organization, or there is a sudden death or something like that. Or the scenario, someone just leaving for whatever various reasons, right? But they're just not in your immediate circle. Maybe it happens slowly over time, and you just wake up and realize one day, wow, I never see this person anyway. Here's the scenario that's going on for me right now. I have 2 children who I'm absolutely crazy about. If you've been in my audience, most likely you've heard me talk about them. And they're 17 and 18 right now, 16 and 18, junior and senior in high school. So real fast, in like 6-8 months, my son's going to be out of the house, off to college. And then right behind him is my daughter leaving. And this maybe you don't have kids, or maybe you've never had a kid in your life that you wanted to be around. Maybe they always aggravate you. Fair enough. But hopefully you can relate to this in some way. I have not been excited about my children leaving the house. Now, I know some parents are like, I don't get that. I'm ready for them to go. But we are really close. And what I realize is that this time of us spending a lot of time day in and day out when they're growing up, that will never be again. And we'll never spend, as a matter of fact, there's some studies showing that 80% of the time you spend with your parents is actually while you're a kid. And once you move out to whatever's next, 80% of the total time in your entire life is done. Oh, heavy, right? So that just got me more bummed out. But in the light of this, here's the realization I had that I want to share with you. I've had a heads up on this, and I shined the light of awareness on how I was feeling about them leaving. Because of that, it's enabled me to make some shifts and changes and say, you know what, I've got some limited time left. I want to make these last minutes count. So I'm sort of grasping for more moments of meeting with them, but I am getting more of them. It's harder, right? Because in this case, these are teenagers, and whether they're kids in your life or colleagues or a loved one, we're all busy. So for whatever the reason, you're probably not going to be able to magically have all the time you want, which makes all this even more important. Here's what I want to invite you to do. Since we don't always have a heads up, you don't always get that call or with an illness or something where you have some time, or with my kids leaving, I know there's some time before they actually leave. Sometimes it's very sudden and we're kind of caught off guard, and that can be very painful. So here's what I want to invite you to do. This is all about your relationships and getting on belay. But what I want to invite you to do is first drive some awareness around, quick grab a pen or pencil, and just write down 2, 3, 4, 5 people that first hit your mind. If you didn't, you got to spend significantly less time with a few people right now. Who first pops in your mind? You're like, wow, I would miss this person, seeing them every day, or talking to them in whatever frequency you do, connecting with them. Who are the first people to hit your mind and hit that piece of paper? Just brainstorm them out. Personal life, professional life, either one. That's awareness step. The second step is actually the advantage of identifying them, literally that little exercise, and writing them down. Now you have a little list very simple, but this can be incredibly meaningful and impactful to you. To then, once you have this list to use to your advantage, to then the third A is take action, my little 3 A's of mastery framework. Take action and connect in a meaningful way with each of those people in the next week. Maybe it's lunch, if you can get with them in person. Maybe it's a video call. Maybe it's just a phone call. Maybe it's just a text message or something, or a letter. But connect in a meaningful way with them so that you can have a leg up and you can get ahead of life. We don't know when we may not see someone again. So don't want to be depressing or, have that angle on it, but that is the reality. And maybe you've had that experience when something like that does happen, someone leaves your life, or is your time exposure to them is significantly reduced off and catches you off guard. Sometimes we are grasping and wishing we had done things differently. So I think it would help you with that, and it will help you just being on blade with people you care about. So that's been an insight for me that's made a big difference, actually, and helped me realize that, hey, this is an opportunity for me to reach out to other people beyond just spending more time with my kids in this case. So I hope that's helpful to you so that you can be more intentional about the relationships in your life, professionally and personally. So get on blade with these people. Awareness, who are those people? Build a little list so that you can be intentional and strategic about it. And then third step is simple. Take action, get on belay with that person, make a meaningful connection with them. Hope this has been helpful. Let me know if it has in the comments below. Please share this on social media or with someone in your life if you think it would be helpful. I greatly appreciate it, and wish you the best today. Thank you.